Hello, I'm Ike. He's DAZAI, and we're here again to talk about comics. As you can probably see behind him, we are going to talk about one of the most notorious and yet most popular comics to have ever come out of indie comics history. And this is the final compilation of the Hotdog Prince. This is the first volume, and then there is a second volume. Parang hindi ako fans, no? Yeah, so there are two volumes at this point. Okay, yun. So I'll talk about them one by one. Okay, so your hero is the Hotdog Prince, and despite what he says, Tomas is the sidekick. But Tomas is the one who is from this town where everything starts. Don't expect this series to make sense, okay? But it's fun don't expect it to make sense, but also it makes a lot of sense. If that, okay, it's a fun, coherent thing in its wacky way. Anyway, so the Hotdog Prince comes out of nowhere, visits his town, and then runs into Tomas. Gets into Tomas, argues with him, and the Hotdog Prince declares Tomas his sidekick. Like what? And then first he has his own magical powers, and seriously, Tomas turns into the literal sidekick, no matter what everyone thinks. Yun. And this begins their adventures together because, as part of the deal of Tomas becoming his sidekick, the Hotdog Prince also steals Tomas's nose and intends to keep it for the time being until whatever the Hotdog Prince plans to do is finished. Roughly, the Hotdog Prince's main objective is to rescue his brothers and other relatives who are imprisoned in this cave somewhere and literally getting roasted as hot dogs, literally. And they're getting roasted by this dog who wants to be the hot dog prince. So far in the series, he hasn't shown up yet again, but I guess he'll show up again. But this is the ultimate objective of the whole story. Book 1 is divided into two mini arcs. The first one is Tomas pretty much recruiting his relative Saya, whose main weapons of attack is tumbang preso taken to an extreme using very, very unconventional ammunition underneath of the slippers. Very gross ammunition also. So there's one arc about Saya getting mad at Tomas leaving with Hotdog Prince, and eventually as this arc goes, Saya eventually decides to join them in the adventures. The second mini arc in this compilation is when this guy starts to appear in the series. He's known as Judgemon Greg. He claims that he knows the Hotdog Prince from temple where they're rivals, but I don't know. Hotdog Prince doesn't acknowledge him. Tomas questions this, but anyway, Greg will fight over this and wants to be over the Hotdog Prince in any way possible, that including basic fight. Also included in this arc, the one with Greg, the Judge Monk, is these thugs of the city, of the town where Tomas is currently. So Hoy Kong, pakibalik mo na si Santino. Goodness. Okay. So, okay. Anyway, these are the thugs of this town, and they pretty much dominate the town where the fight is going on, and that way keep the peace. But that said, you also have, these are thugs, so they will also cause trouble along the way, especially because Saya knows Santino from previously. Santino kasi is also a tumbang preso user, so slipper attacks also of a different kind, and uses these gigantic slippers to stomp on things while he's looking so awesome. Kong, pakibalik mo na. Okay, thanks. Okay, yun lang. And then, so yun. So that's basically the contents of this compilation. So book 1 is from issue 1 to issue 6 of the Hotdog Prince when given individually. And as you can see at the back, these are the final versions of this comic. So these are not the original versions from 2012. They were practically reworked and released again in 2017 to 2018. Some of these were already available, uploaded online, the 2017 to 2018 versions, but they were compiled for final version in this book. Okay, and then yun. So the story is still the same as compared from before, but a lot of the techniques from changed. So he practically reworked majority of the pages, so to show this improvement in overall story presentation. Okay. And then this is the back of the first book, which has Saya eating halo-halo. Don't mind this. It's fine. Don't mind it. Okay, and then this is the front of the first book. So again, this is the second book. It contains issue 7 to issue 10, and for now the story of the Hotdog Prince is stuck at issue 10. Real life concerns and having to work concerns. It's all. That's the only problem. So yeah, this is the front of the book, and this is the back of the book. Again, don't mind this. It's just fun to read. Okay. Ayun. And this is one, compared to book 1, this is one whole arc. Best known as the Only Rise Terraces arc. Okay. Okay. So in this longer arc, Greg, the Judge Monk, gets 2 kids to come along with him, and they plan to encounter Hotdog Prince, Tomas, and Saya, but they have plans to go into the woods for, they're not sure why at this point. Okay, but eventually a goal does come around for these 3 people, because they run into members of the barangay in the Only Rice Terraces. So these are Biaya and Bioyo and the pet dog. And after meeting the people of the barangay Only Rice Terraces, they start to have an objective for being there, because Bioyo, the one I showed earlier, got kidnapped by this very, very large bird. Yes, with this. Okay. So that is the core story of this whole arc. So this is how they meet these people, how they learn their Detroit culture, weird, and how they help in rescuing these 2. Okay, so this is the core story of this whole book. Okay, So most of this ends with this, at least this book, but the arc is not done yet. So most of this ends with Saya and Tomas and Hotdog Prince and Biaya, the adopted sibling, to fight against this large bird and maybe catch it and rescue the sibling. So and all of this is most of this is uh, rescuing and making sense of it. Okay, but really the reason you read Hotdog Prince is only secondary for the story. It's so fun that this series does have a story, and this is why this series is important. But you first get into this story not so much for the story itself, while it does develop a story, but because of all this banter that happens. Banter that it is very, very Pinoy, very, very ironic. It takes from both its environment as well as its modern settings, and yes, it has a lot of innuendo. Okay, so be informed that it has a lot of this, and and does not apologize for the innuendo that it gives. Okay, it is cautious. Swear words are controlled, especially because this is a book. But yes, be aware that this is not for children, and it does have innuendo and does not apologize for it. People read this for the silliness. Okay, story second, but also we're very, very happy that it also develops a story along the way. So yun, so that's the correct way to come into to come into Hotdog Prince, to have a good time and then to enjoy, but also to see how good it is. Ayan. And this is the next thing I do want you to see. Okay, so ayun, what Kong did, even in 2012, in the original versions of this, and especially with these new versions released in 2018, what Kong did was to rather establish, to solidify this necessity for sharp techniques in comics. Understand? Yeah. So, yung be used to this as professional as you can make it presentation of the panels and the pacing and the characterization. Okay? Kasi you have this feeling that before Kong, there were very, very incredible pieces. Of course, Sir Arnold Ares, Sir Jerry Alangilan, definitely everything from Sir John Samar, okay? Everything from Alamat, so Tresel and such, okay? But you also have this feeling that everybody felt na they're very, very awesome comikeros. They're out of our league. I can't do that. I can't do that in my comics because they're so good. Okay, what Kong did when he released the Hotdog Prince was not to lower the standards, but to say that the standards are reachable, that they could do it. If I could do it, so can you. Yeah. Okay, so this level of quality in comics, particularly in the Pinoy manga style comics, became more standard after Hotdog Prince arrived. Okay, so that is what is the one of the important things that happened when Hotdog Prince came out. This is definitely obvious already by the time you get to book 2 of the series. So this is pinag-effortan. A lot of effort was already goes into these things, okay? So even if it's just fun, wacky thing, rescuing somebody, controlling a bird, and stopping the bird from causing more damage, but it comes with incredible overall action pacing, incredible detail, awareness of the characters, and movement of action, diba? This is practically professional level, diba? And people abroad already know this. This series already has pretty much an international following. That's why it has an English translation online. Because some Pinoys put it on online, and then people on that site caught wind of it and saw that it was also good, and it got a reputation that way. It is a reputation that is very well deserved by now. So yeah, that's why, again, that is why the Hotdog Prince is important. Yes, it's wacky stuff. It's Tomas getting his nose back. It's this weird something called the Hotdog Prince trying to get his siblings back and asserting his power. It's Saya coming along with Tomas. She still doesn't know why, but she's coming along, and a few other people getting to know themselves better. It's really that, and it's not much else, and it's a lot of bantering, and it's a lot of comedy action. But you are very mistaken to ignore this series. And a lot of people in comics are already aware of this, okay? Please do not ignore this story. Be aware that the comedy it has is more mature, so therefore it's not for children, but also take it seriously. There are a lot of things in this series to admire. Characterization, dialogue pacing. No matter how much the bantering goes, the bantering is exactly right. There is not too much and not too little at any time. The action is given very, very well. Any characterization of all the people involved is also given very, very well. So, and you can even see in the books that Kong give them and game stats as part of their characterization. So in order to help him in planning how they fight and how they strategize. Okay, so that's the effort he went through it. Okay, just for as part of characterization. So consider these things also when you make your characters. And yes, these are some of the best presentations of indie comics in the last few years, and Kong even took the time to improve on them from the first versions. That is how incredible this series is. Okay, so please do not ignore this series as just a fun, silly thing. It is one of the best examples of all of comics, and it is a worthy member of all of comics. Okay, again, these print versions, I'm not so sure if they're available. They might be available with the author or at Secret HQ. There are online versions. I will give them in the links again. Okay, so yeah, please get them. They're worth it, and they're one of the funnest. They're the most fun. Some of the most fun characters to know in all of comics. Okay, again, I'm Ike. He's DAZAI, and please continue to read and continue to watch and continue to enjoy Pinoy comics. Thank you.